So hello everyone, this is Safdar Ali and welcome back to my channel. So I hope you're doing well. So in this tutorial, I will be showing you like how to create a calculator using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So if you haven't created a calculator using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, so in this tutorial you will be getting everything that is necessary for that. So I will be explaining each code line by line, and the fun fact is that you will be getting the code for free in my GitHub account, and I will be providing that link in the description as well. You can just download code from there as well and you can just access it. So this is the calculator which I have created and you will be creating the same in this tutorial. So let's write over here at 741 and let's multiply it with 9 and it will give the result at 6669. 6669 will be the result. Then again we can divide it by 1, it will give the same result, and if we divide it by 8, it will be giving the result as 833.625. And after that if we want to subtract it by 8, it will give the result as 825.625. And another operator is that we can use that delete button as well. It will delete, like if you want to delete 2, we can delete it, and if you want to clear everything that is displayed on the screen, like we can use this all clear button. As we click on this all clear, everything is vanished. Again we can add, like we can use 74.8 as well. So this is the awesome calculator we are going to design in this tutorial, and you can use we are also going to use JavaScript in this as well. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can just subscribe to my channel. And first of all, I've already created a folder by the name calculator by Safdar. So let's create a new file, that is index.html. So I have created a new file that named it as index.html. So let's import a doc type. So I've already imported the doc type. So let's give the title for this web page as, let's suppose, softwares. As I am creating this calculator, so I am giving my name. You are creating your calculator, so you can give your name as well. So I am giving the title as Safdar's calculator. I will create a new file as well for the CSS part. So let's name it as index.css. You can name it as any name. So I'm just writing as index.css. So let's link this file with index.html, correct? So let's link the CSS file with the HTML file. So for linking it, let's just link it over here. So I have named it as index.css. So let's change it as index.css. I've given the file name as index.css. So I've given the same attributes over here as well. So the file is already connected. So let's click here to run the live server. So I've clicked here already. So my title is already visible over here. And so let's make some changes over here as well. So under the body section, so I will be creating a div. Let's suppose div.container. I've given the class name as container and I'm creating a div over here. So I have just given a heading over for just for testing purpose. Is it working or not? So it's working properly. So our HTML part is clearly visible over here. So let's make some changes in our CSS part as well. So for making changes in the global part, so let's give the margin as 0 and padding also 0. So these changes are for the global part. So let's give the font family as well. So the font family will be Poppins. Okay, I'm taking the font family as Poppins because I like it. You can change it and you can give another name as well. So I've given colon double times. So I've just changed it. And you can also import it from Google Fonts as well. Okay, so I've already changed it. It comes under sans serif. So I've already created a container. So let's add styling to the container as well. Let's suppose I will give the styling as container. So I'm just importing the class name over here, container. I will give the width as 100%. So I'm assigning the height value, that too as 100 vh. So let's add background to it. So how the background will be displayed, what color it will be, we can give your custom color as well. I'm just defining the color. So I've given this color because I like this color, so I've given it. You can give another color as well. For testing purpose, I've given the heading as simple calculator by Safdar. So I'm just deleting that part. Okay. So I'm just removing it. For now, I'm creating one more div. The div name will be for the calculator part. Let's suppose a calculator. Yeah, it's already created. So under this, I am creating a form. Let's this. So I'm removing this action part. It's a simple form over here. Under this, I'm creating one more div. I want to display all the inputs, whatever input we are taking from the user. Like if the user is inputting anything, like giving any input, we have to display something. Correct. So for displaying that, I'm making another input. So the type will be text. I'm not giving any id for it right now. If I want to add any css for it, I can give the id for that as well, separate css. But now, for now, I'm not adding any id for that. So I'm giving the name as display because I want to display it. Correct. So I want to display the values, whatever values we are taking from the user, or we are inputting any values, we have to display that. So for that, I have just given the name as display. So for next, we'll be creating one more div where all the numbers and operators will be stored there. So this will be in the form of input because we are taking input from the user. Correct. So we are just writing input over here, the written input. So the type will be, so we are adding a type. So what will be the type? The type will be button. Correct. We are adding, if you are adding checkbox, we can select the checkbox. If we are adding any color, date or date time, we can use this type also. But right now we are using the button type. So we just want to use it as a button. So we are just using as button. So what will be the value that will be displayed on the screen? So the value will be AC. I'm using our AC over here because it will be used as for clearing all the data. The data we are clicking on this calculator, so that will be uh, the value will be cleared. Like all the values will be cleared at a single click. So for that, I am just using that value as AC. I'm just copying this line and just so it will be having four columns. So this will be having four columns. So the value will change. Value will be all clear. Second value will be delete. For deleting a single value. Just like if you want to delete a single value, you can use this value. Okay. So you can just use this button. So the third will be the dot one, and then the slash. You can see the results over here. So I'm just moving this ahead. So I've already created this. So you can see that this is the input part. Whatever input you are taking, it will be displayed over here. Right now it's not working, so I will be adding the javascript functionalities. So after that, on click, it will be displayed over here. So for now it's not working. So like after adding styling, it will be looking much better, as I know that it's not looking good right now. But I will be adding a much better things as well. So as we have seen that all these inputs are already visible in our browser. So let's move on to our next row. Okay. So we have already created four columns. So we will be creating another row for that. Rows should be there, multiple columns should be there. So let's and multiple inputs as well should be there. So we will be taking multiple inputs. So let's create one more div for that. Or else we can just copy paste it. Like we are just copying it and just pasting it, just moving it over here as well. So we are just changing the data. So I am taking reference from my keyboard. So like whatever data is there in my keyboard, I'm just taking the reference from there and just inputting it here. Okay. So let's there is a 7, then it should be 8, because it is starting from the left side and moving on to the right side. So 7, 8, and then 9. Next one will be star. We'll be giving the next value as 4, 5, 6, and the next operator will be plus. So again we will copy and just paste over here. The next value will be 1, 2, 3. We'll be adding minus over here. Okay. And, we can use anything. Like we can just change the place as well, location as well. We can use anything as our requirement. So here I will be using 00 for entering. Like if you want to enter 100, that will be easy for the users. Like if you want to enter 100, then we can just click on one button, and after that for 00 we can just click on this 00. Okay, we don't need to click on 0 two times. We can just click over here, and the input will be stored over there and displayed on the screen. The next operator will be equals, control L, and then remove it. Okay. So let's move on to a browser. Like what's the result is there. Okay, we are seeing the results over here. That's look good. So let's make it as center. Okay, let's display it over here. For displaying it in the center, we can just add CSS. Just add display flex, align items, to center. All the items will be displayed to center, and justify content also to the center. Okay, so let's see the result. Okay, everything is in center part. This part was for the container part. Okay, so let's add CSS for the calculator as well. Adding that, we can just access the class. So the class for that div was dot was as calculator. So let's import that class as dot calculator and add CSS for that. So let's change the background for it. Changing the background, I'm taking this color. You can take any other color as well. So I'm just taking this color. Padding for that, padding will be at 20 pixel. Okay, so like we need some curved as well. Okay, border radius should be 8 pixel. I'm adding 8 pixel. Let's see that how it's looking. So it's looking nice, right? Correct. So like it's looking fine now. It's looking correct. So let's add uh, CSS for the buttons as well. So we'll be adding some certain gaps to the buttons as well, to the input part. This is the input part. Inside this calculator there is a form. Inside this form there is inputs. These are all the inputs. So let's add CSS for that. Class calculator, we are having form. Correct, we are having form. So we need to add styling to that form. Inside that form, we are having inputs. Different inputs, multiple inputs are there. So we need to add styling for that. So for that, we are just using border as 0. Border as 0. Outline for that will be 0. Outline will be none or 0. The width for that, because it should be like having some width and height as well, because it was looking some squeezy type. Okay, so we will be adding some width for that. So for adding width, we are using the width as 60 pixel. Will also be the similar. We can add as 50 pixel, or else we can add 60 pixel as well. Okay, so let's add border radius for that as well. So it should also look some curved. Okay, so let's add border radius. Border radius at 10 pixel. Remove some extra commas, semicolons. We'll be adding some box shadow as well. Okay. So there will be two types of shadows. One will be light and one will be dark. Will be for the top left. So let's add this for the top left. Match it pixel. So one will be dark and one side will be light. This will be dark, light. RGBA color. You can add any other colors. Just use to this color. So I'm using this color. Okay. The alpha will be 0.1. Now after this, we can add one comma for the bottom right. Okay. It will be also minus 8 pixel. So this will be 5 pixel, 5 pixel, 15 pixel. So this will be 0. So this is the light one, correct? 0.2. So after this, we'll be adding the background for that. The background will be transparent. So the font size for the inputs will be around like suppose 8 pixel. How it's looking, let's see. So 8 pixel is not visible correctly, correct? So let's make it as 20 pixel, 20 pixel. And we have also seen that the color for this is not visible. So let's make it as white. The white color will be better, I think. So the color will be white. Color as white, triple F. So for those who don't know the color code for white, it's simple. It's triple F, and for the black, it's triple zero. So if we are pointing to that, it should it should hover, correct? So for that, we are using cursor as pointer, and if we are adding margin, giving certain margin for that as 10 pixel, so that there will be certain space between the buttons. How it's looking? See, like after hover, it's showing certain the pointer as well, and it is having certain space as well. Okay, you can see certain spaces between them. So until now, let's give a short recap for you. We have already created a buttons for that, and we have created an input for displaying something that we are clicking. So after that, we have added on click functionality over here. Like if we click on something, like if we click on 7, 8 or 9, it will display it on the screen. And after that, we have already used what I have done earlier was like I've just written over a display dot value equals 7. So after just refreshed it, after clicking over here, it is displaying 7 over here. But after clicking more times as 7, but it is not displaying any value. So why it is not displaying any value? So let's resolve it. So we can just add plus over here and just click over here as once more plus plus. Like after adding plus, you can see that multiple 7 can be inputted. Like how many times we input 7 and we click on the button 7, it will be displayed on the screen. So after that, we have done the similar things for that for different buttons as well. You've taken the values over here as display dot value. Like the value was 4, it will be displayed on the screen. And if you want to clear, like if you click on all clear button, it should clear everything. For that, what we need to do, you can just come here, just copy it, and we can add the functionality over here as on click display dot value. We can remove the plus sign and we can just add blank. Okay, we can add 7, 8, 5, 4, 1, 2, and just after clicking the blank sign, we can just delete everything. You can see that everything is deleted. So what if I want to just delete the last value, that is 1. That then we have to click on delete button. For just deleting one single last value, we have to just click over here delete button. For that, we have to add the functionality in the delete button. Let's copy it and paste it over here. Display dot value equals display dot value display dot value dot to string. We can write over here 0 comma minus 1. So the last value will be deleted. Dot slice, we have not written dot slice, so okay. So let's add this one at 78451 2. I want to delete 2. Okay, so I can delete 2 1 in a sequence manner. From last it will be getting deleted. You can see we can this delete function, this delete button is also working properly. Hope you have understood until here. So this delete button is also working. This is we know that, but it is not, the button is not working. We are unable to calculate it, then what's the use of the calculator? So for that, we can use the functionality. Let's move on to the input as equals, and we will be adding the on click over here. Just copy and paste it over here. Display dot value. Now we have to evaluate it, correct? So we for evaluating it, just we can add the functionality eval. We can add display dot value. Okay. So we can just evaluate it. 789 plus 563 equals 789 plus 32 equals. So this D was missing over there. So that's why I was unable to calculate. Let's suppose 785 plus 36 equals 821. This is correct. So let's test it with another thing as well. Everything's working fine or not. Like 32 divided by 2 equals 16. Correct. Then all clear it. Minus 1 plus 3 equals 154. So everything's working correctly. So what's the differentiator between these buttons? I want to differentiate the operators. So let's add and different classes for that. So let's add class for this. Class equals So this is operator. So I'm waiting the class as operator. Oh, I've not closed it. Okay, so this is all the operators. So I'm just adding the classes for that. The class name will be same. Add styling to that. Adding styling. So it comes under form type. Form. So let's add styling to the class name was operator. So we need to change the background for that. Okay, let's change the background color. Just, giving the background color as this. Okay, let's refresh it. So I've forgotten to add input over here because it comes under input, correct? Okay. So is it looking nice? Okay, it is looking nice. So it's a differentiator also in the normal numbers between the normal numbers and the operators. So let's add operators the color for these operators as well. So let's give the same class name for that as well to this class name. Okay, okay. For this plus symbol, you can see that the colors for this has already been changed. So this was the calculator which I wanted to tell you, which I wanted to create for using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I've already created it. So I hope your this video was helpful for you. So if you like this video, you can just subscribe to my channel and also just hit the like button as well. And you can just share these videos with your friends as well who is learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and who's going to switch their career in web development. You can just share these videos to them as well.